Sushmita Dev, according to Tuhin Sinha, you will get no sympathy. The public out there has no sympathy for the opposition because the government has convinced the public, according to him, that the opposition is only here to disrupt.
Please understand, historically, every time there's a government in power, there is always an opposition. And the first principles of a democracy is inside the parliament, the opposition must have its say. That's why we are there in the opposition. To say public sympathy and things like that are callous statements as far as I'm concerned. And let me put something else on record. Apart from the fact that Rajnath Singh ji is not in charge of internal security or police or security of the parliament, it's not his subject. Apart from that, let me put on record, and Mr. Sinha should listen very carefully, that while the MPs were raising this issue in Rajya Sabha, 2 bills were passed in 15 minutes. So please do not tell the viewers of this channel that y'all are actually holding anything back. It has become the new normal when the parliamentary rules say that unless the house is in order, no business can carry on. But this government shamelessly continues with the business of the house while the opposition MPs are trying to raise something. So there is no question of the parliament being held ransom. The parliament has been run just like a fascist would run it. That's how it's been run.
No, you're making very strong words. You're saying this parliament
understand.
is being run like a fascist would run it. The question is, according to Tuhin Sinha, the public out there doesn't care, he says. He says the public doesn't care if the opposition disrupts parliament. The people are with Prime Minister Modi.
Rajdeep, if everything is going to be gauged by electoral victories and defeats, then in that case, you should not allow the people who have the lesser mandate or lesser numbers to even sit in parliament. Then just say whoever has got the more numbers, only they will sit in parliament. Opposition has a role, and that's why we are a democracy. We may win an election, we may lose an election, but opposition has a role to play, and that's why we are not a banana republic. We are a parliamentary democracy. We have to be given a voice.
You know,
today you expel an MP for sharing a password, and today you have nothing to say about an MP who's responsible for allowing these people to come in. It's totally different rules.
Tuhin Sinha, from picking up from what Sushmita Dev is saying, she's saying that this is the first sign of fascism. You know, opposition Mukt parliament. This is the Gujarat model according to the opposition being brought to Delhi. In Gujarat also, when Prime Minister Modi was Chief Minister, whenever the opposition would protest, there would be mass suspensions, mass expulsions. This is bad for parliament. This is not what parliament should be. Do you agree with that? That this could lead Tuhin Sinha, the government's approach is, just as you say the opposition is my way or the highway, so is the government's approach. The government is supposed to, its responsibility is to run the parliament. The treasury benches, the government has to run parliament. What efforts has your government made to get parliament functioning?
Rajdeep, you can recheck if you don't remember. This is the first time perhaps, or on rare occasions in this session, or in this term basically, Parliament has sat well past midnight to discuss important bills, including on Kashmir, including on women's reservations. So please don't blame us, as a fascist governments don't work past midnight to include everybody's voices. That's point number one. But yes, reckless behavior which opposition parties would often get away with. And I will give you specific examples. When, the Rafale issue was being discussed and Nirmala Sitharaman ji was making a statement, I still remember Rahul Gandhi and his party were throwing paper plates. That behavior will not be tolerated. I think the opposition needs to behave a little more responsibly. Derek O'Brien has a habit of tearing bills whenever they are introduced, whether it was Telangana bill in 2014, whether it was farm laws. So I think that behavior will not be tolerated because we expect a more evolved behavior by the opposition parties. If they are capable of it, well and fine. Otherwise, like I said, they can try their luck and seek sympathy with the people.
Vishwajit Bhattacharya, is there therefore a belief that if you engage in reckless behavior, if you throw paper or you put up placards, you will be suspended? It cannot be that you can get away with bad behavior, is what the government says. We are not going to be like previous governments which will tolerate such behavior. They have a majority and they have their rules. How do you respond?
I respond because the only allegation level against is they have carried placards, and this is such a serious issue, Rajdeep, that there is a security breach inside the parliament, and they have come from outside. So it's a national security issue. And if this is not the time the Home Minister to come and make a statement, and there are two issues. This is a disproportionate, as I've already stated. This is total misuse. This is gagging the opposition. This is not the way parliamentary democracy functions.
No,
This
so what is
a
the speaker,
process.
Mr. Bhattacharya, what is the speaker or chairperson of the house to do if the moment parliament starts at 11 a.m., the opposition either enters the well of the house or starts shouting, slogan shouting, saying Home Minister, Parliament may have. What is the speaker supposed to do?
No. The speaker should request the Home Minister to come. You see, this is as simple as that. If in a national security issue, Defense Minister, Honorable Mr. Rajnath Singh is not in charge, national security issue comes directly under the Honorable Home Minister.
So you're telling me the speaker should be asking the Home Minister to make the statement. You're saying rather than suspend the opposition, the speaker's role is to ensure the Home Minister comes to the house.
Suspension is emasculating the parliament, and now they are passing all the bills in the absence of parliaments. I think this is the time where, as the sentinel on the cui viva, Supreme Court should step in, because in my firm view, Article 32 fundamental right of 92 parliamentarians have been abridged and abrogated.
How can the Mr. Bhattacharya, the Supreme Court, Parliament is sovereign. Tomorrow, if the Supreme Court steps in to the decisions of the Speaker...
There have been instances, Article 105 and Article 122 on procedural aspects. You have this Maharashtra judgment in the Supreme Court where Eknath Shinde came to the court. And then you also have 1992 Supreme Court Constitution Bench in the context of 10th schedule, where para 7 was knocked out that no court shall intervene. So, the arms of the judiciary are gradually basically entering. And this is a fit case. 92 members of parliament have been suspended. In one day, 78 members. I mean, this is only precedent is...
You're making the point. The point that you seem to be making strongest is disproportionate punishment. Tuin Sinha, by 92 MPs being suspended, it seems almost as if the government is sending out the message. The real message is the entire opposition is being collectively punished. You see, 92 is virtually half the opposition. Half the opposition today has been suspended. You might as well close down Parliament. It's my money, taxpayers' money. Close it down.
First of all, Rajdeep, I prefer to compare this attack inside Parliament with what happened 22 years back is extremely fallacious, because that was done by Pakistan-sponsored terrorists. This was done by disgruntled elements with overt proximity to certain opposition parties. So please don't keep comparing it again and again. And that is why the subject matter of investigation is going to be far more complex. It needs time. And once the investigation is out, you will know. Secondly, I have pointed this out time and again. The suspension has nothing to do, with a demand.
No. What is it? When you suspend 92 people at one go, what is the message being sent out? Okay, that line to Tuin Sinha has blocked, but Manikam Tagore, as one of the MPs suspended, do you have any regrets? You are being accused of taking placards, shouting, entering the well of the house. I met Sharad Pawar the other day and he said in his 50-year legislative career, 50 years, he's never been into the well of the house. Do you have any regrets at all of going into the well of the house time and again? You are seen to be one of the serial offenders according to the government.
No, I don't have regrets, but as I am voted here, I am sent as a representative to raise the voice of the people. When I am not allowed to raise the voice of the people, I'll try to do whatever it takes to take the attention of the chair. Because it can't be only a Chinese assembly or a national assembly like thing that the Prime Minister comes and makes a speech and everybody cheers and goes off. It can't be the Gujarat Assembly model where only those people who speaks and opposition will be thrown out. That model can't work. Here, if it is a one-member party also, they should have the right to speak. That is the parliamentary democracy's strength. BJP has been only two-member party. In that time also, they had a voice. Therefore, let us not support this decision of the government to throw the parliamentarians out of the parliament and think that they are offenders. We are not offenders. We are also elected by people and we wanted to raise the people's issue. And we want, because when the mics are not given, when the cameras are not on us, what else we can do?